Derby matches are renowned for inflaming the passions. Joe Jordan was not at all happy at Tynecastle today. Alex Miller wasn't impressed. Derby day in England too. Liverpool and Everton, unusually, had only pride to play for. Not so in Manchester. Both United and City needed the points. And we take a look at the world champions as they prepare to face Scotland on Wednesday. Hello, good evening. Tonight, Andy Roxburgh's plans for that meeting with Germany lie in tatters. All 6 Rangers players in the 21-man squad are injured and have been withdrawn. So too has Aberdeen's Alex McLeish. While Celtic captain Paul McStay, Scott Booth and Brian Grant of Aberdeen, and Maurice Malpass and Duncan Ferguson of Dundee United will all report carrying injuries. The Scotland coach had already had to do without any of his English-based players, and tonight he said it is something we have to cope with all the time, but this is certainly the longest list of call-offs in my experience. The 6 Rangers players all featured in today's 2-1 defeat at Parkhead, which ended their 44-match unbeaten run. John Collins put Celtic in front 8 minutes before the interval, and then Andy Payton, now Celtic's top scorer, made it 2-0 early in the second half. And although Mark Hateley pulled one back for Rangers with 6 minutes left, it was to no avail, and Rangers fell 1 short of equalling Aberdeen's 30-match unbeaten Premier record. Well, Derek, let's talk firstly about the situation facing Andy Roxburgh. He must be distraught tonight.
Well, I think when the match was arranged, Dougie, it sounded a good idea, the world champions that you're going to play them, but, you know, the squad's been decimated, and really it's turned into a joke now. But we're hearing tonight that he's only going to bring in 1 goalkeeper and 2 outfield players. I think you've got to be looking for somebody like Alan Main to come in. I think he's probably due a chance there. And any 2 or 4, you can have Jim McInally, Brian Irvine, Derek Ferguson, or even Pat McGinley, who's in the under-21 squad. I think 2 of these 4 may well get pulled in as well. Yeah,
as Andy himself said, it's a situation he's relatively used to, but there are 26 players who have played for Scotland this season who are out of Wednesday's match now for one reason or another. I mean, that's staggering.
Well, he's not going to learn much with his game against Germany. OK, I'll maybe give a chance to Duncan Ferguson to play his first game for a while, and possibly John Robertson up front. But apart from that, it's a makeshift side now, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's very disappointing. Now, the Old Firm match, you were there today. Rangers, any complaints?
No, I don't think so. I think on the day Celtic were by far the better side. You know, they created all the chances. They were the more hungrier to win the game. But there's no doubt Rangers in midweek, the quagmire of Ibrox playing against Bruges, it certainly took a lot out of the legs. They looked a very, very tired side today.
Well, Celtic now, of course, on their own 10-match unbeaten run, so they've recovered well, haven't they?
They have. I think if they played all season the way they played today, then they certainly wouldn't be in the situation they're in just now.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, meantime, at Tynecastle, Hearts and Hibs faced each other in the final Edinburgh derby of the season, with Hibs desperate to end their embarrassing sequence of 16 derbies without a win. The commentator is Jock Brown.
A fitness check this morning ruled Tosh McKinlay and Alan Preston out of the Hearts side, but Peter van de Ven is back after suspension, and Gary Mackay, after the bout of flu, is named only as a substitute, with Graham Hawke wearing his number 5 jersey. So Hearts may operate with 4 instead of their normal 3 at the back. And it's a big occasion for Nicky Walker, named by Andy Roxburgh in the Scotland squad for the match against Germany on Wednesday. He's been watched by Craig Brown and the national goalkeeping coach Alan Hodgkinson this afternoon, and he'll be trying to maintain the form which has produced 10 shutouts in 17 matches since replacing Henry Smith in the Hearts goal. Hibs too have been affected by injuries. Murdo MacLeod, Neil Orr, Tommy McIntyre and Joe Tortolano are all out. Stephen Tweed plays his 9th consecutive match at centre-half, and Darren Jackson hopes to catch the eye up front after a surprise call-up to the Scotland squad. The form player on the side is Pat McGinley, whose energetic performances in midfield have produced 12 goals and a place as an overage player in the Scotland under-21 squad to face Iceland at Kilmarnock on Monday. And the referee this afternoon is Mr. Donald McVicker from Curlock. Very firm underfoot and blustery overhead, so difficult conditions for the 4th Edinburgh League derby of the season. And there has been a real scarcity of goals in the 3 matches so far. Only 1 scored, and that's by Ian Baird, and the only game won so far this season between these 2 clubs. So Baird got that vital goal back in November, but apart from that, it's been 2 0-0 draws. And Hibs trying to end a sequence of 16 derbies without a win. It's well won by Wright. An awkward one for McLaren. In steps Jackson. Here's Keith Wright. And that'll be a Hearts throw. Hearts have opened up with Ian Ferguson on the right. Baird through the middle with Robertson operating to his left. Van de Ven inside. It's cut off by Hunter. He gave that straight to Derek Ferguson now. Robertson breaking and eased off the ball illegally by Graham Mitchell. Well, Robertson going for that very sharply, and Mitchell trying to match him, leaning hard into the little striker, conceding this free kick. Certainly promising for Hearts, this. Alan McLaren also in the area with Graham Hogg and Craig Levine. Near post effort by Robertson. Well, he's under severe pressure from both Willie Miller and Pat McGinley. Ferguson looking for John Robertson making that run. Look how carefully watched he was. Here's Brian Hamilton. Jackson's through the middle with Evans. Hamilton going inside, allowing McGinley to take over. Good running by Evans to stay onside. Met there by Levine, he goes down in that challenge. Well, Pat McGinley asking a question of the referee about a penalty kick. And this looks to be a very good claim indeed. Evans going to the byline, he gets his foot to the ball there. That is brought down, and that looks to me to be a clear penalty kick. Well, let off undoubtedly for Hearts. Headed inside by Baird. Craig Levine from this position, a very lucky player to survive that penalty appeal. Forward goes Mickey Weir, complaining he was fouled by Snowden. Here's McGinley. That's ahead for Wright. Van de Ven trying to get back on terms. There's Darren Jackson. Now Jackson is so sharp and alert inside that penalty box. Very difficult for defenders to mark. Look at the way it comes off McLaren here to get to the ball. The first touch let him down. Came off the head of Mitchell. There's Tweed. There's John Robertson. That's well won by Tweed under severe pressure from Baird. Hamilton's clearance. The throw is given to Hearts. And this time there's no doubt about it as Mitchell heads it out. Van de Ven battling hard. Back from Derek Ferguson to Miller. There's McLaren. Good reaction there from Tweed. Back with Snowden. That was well worth the first time volley, which is blocked by Miller. Willie Miller going forward again. He knows he has Mickey Weir behind. McGinley's return pass. Neat play from Hibs. McGinley still available. Keith Wright calls the ball through a gap there in the inside right channel. McGinley prefers to pick out Brian Hamilton. McLaren's clearance. Well, McGinley's had a very good recent goal-scoring record. A rueful smile there as he completely miscues that one. There's the aerial view of Tynecastle. Tells nothing of the story of the blustery, windy conditions and the firm surface. Ian Ferguson timing that well. Evans timed his leap too in front of Hogg to get the ball on. It's returned there by Levine. Miller playing that through Ian Baird rather. So Miller now with the throw. Here's Darren Jackson looking for support from Weir. It's all a bit tight in that area of the field. Levine trying to change that around, and the long ball in for Baird. Results in an offside flag. It's not Baird though. It is Ian Ferguson, I think, right in the middle of the field. There's Stuart Dougal, the linesman from Cambuslang. Willie Miller's free kick. Evans with Hogg. Great cross from Evans. And the header from Keith Wright goes inches wide. Once again, Hibs denied with a very good, sharp attack. Willie Miller playing this wide. Look at the way that Evans gets the better of Hogg. He judges the ball better. Then his sharpness gets him in to that position for the cross. Keith Wright getting up so well to this. The downward header against the balance of the keeper, but wide of the post. Ian Ferguson's touch on. There's Beard to Robertson. And instead of a shooting chance, good defensive play there by Mickey Weir, matching the run made by Glyn Snowden. John Burridge deliberately running over the ball, making sure that it ran for the goal kick. His judgment was good. Mickey Weir, who's known for his attacking flair and qualities in that area, showing great defensive awareness on that occasion. Well, just look at the impact he made here as that ball was played out by John Robertson. Snowden looking for the pass, and Mickey Weir was there to intercept. So great discipline shown by Weir. Alec Miller looking somewhat concerned about Gordon Hunter. It does appear as though he will not be able to take any further part in the match. Limping off here. Well, further disappointment for Hunter, who's had a lot of injury problems in the last couple of years. So he limps out of the Edinburgh derby. And the replacement will be a direct one, I think. David Farrell. So there's Farrell. Joined the club from Oxford United as a youngster, and he'll go straight into central defence, I'm sure, beside Stephen Tweed. Ian Ferguson, Jackson back, helping in defence. Ian Ferguson trying to get it away, but it's back with Derek Ferguson. Or run away from him, rather. Mitchell has to play it, though. Good play by Jackson and Wright. McGinley. Here's Jackson again, snatching at that first-time pass. So referee Donald Bigger brings the first half to an end. Honours even at this stage, and that's just about right in the balance of play. Hibs will be reflecting on what I thought was an excellent penalty claim when Gareth Evans was brought down in the area. And then Keith Wright did a good header just wide of the target, but Hearts have had territorial advantage in the first half, and they too will feel that they perhaps did enough to be ahead. I reckon it draws about right at half time. It's Hearts 0, Hibs 0. So the conditions even less pleasant as Hearts start the second half. Hibs battling against a run of 3 straight defeats against Aberdeen, Rangers and Celtic. So very anxious to get back on the rails, just being sucked to the fringe of that relegation issue. And also with a cup semi-final to come, they want to be at their best. Injuries, of course, causing a serious problem for Alec Miller from time to time, including today. Certainly no lack of effort from his team so far, though. Is that new central defensive pairing, though, of Farrell and Tweed in a vital area. Farrell replacing Gordon Hunter, who was injured in the first half. He's certainly taken an attacking approach to the game, despite being away from home. Trying to get Keith Wright up with Darren Jackson and Gareth Evans whenever possible. And supporting play from Weir and McGinley in particular from midfield. Brian Hamilton also striding out of that area as often as he can. A little bit of magic Mickey Weir wouldn't go amiss for the Hibs cause. Hearts certainly getting plenty out of their front men in the first half in terms of effort, although they were very carefully policed. John Robertson doing some good creative work in the leading up play without getting too many goal scoring chances. These sides knowing each other so very well, of course, and the marking is very keen. There's McGinley helping it on for Mitchell. Back with David Farrell. Hamilton opening the play out. Willie Miller breaking on the right for Hibs. Evans ahead. Jackson and Wright waiting in the middle. Peter van der Ven at full stretch there to get to that. We are halted by Levine. This is Snowden. Tweed going in strongly on Baird. Well, this is a very good entry to the top team, Stephen Tweed, in the under-21 squad for Scotland. A fine chance of playing on Monday. Ferguson trying to cushion that for John Miller. That was handball by Miller. Hibs have a free kick. So there's Graham Mitchell's free kick. Looking for Stephen Tweed at the edge of the area, marked by Hogg. Toss goes Brian Hamilton, forcing Hogg into the hurried clearance. Hibs have the benefit of the elements, although it's a dubious benefit in these conditions. Control their premium. Keith Wright looking for Jackson. Van de Ven steps in. This is Mickey Weir, promising for Hibs. Chip ball inside. Alan McLaren at full stretch, nodding that away from Darren Jackson, who's waiting just behind him. It's a good ball played in this by Mickey Weir. You'll see where Darren Jackson is here as McLaren gets to that. Plenty of movement in the area. Plus by Weir. Hogg wins it well for Hearts. It's Brian Hamilton. The outside flag is up. Weir was slow coming back. A well-directed pass too by Brian Hamilton. Mickey Weir didn't react as quickly as the Hearts defence. Brian Hamilton playing it back to safety. In the form of John Burridge. Need help from Mitchell. McLaren to Van de Ven. Forced error, giving possession back to Hibs. Jackson strongly blocked there by McLaren. That's Farrell. Looking for Evans to the middle. Hogg wins it. Derek Ferguson to Snowden. Hustling play by Hibs in the middle of the field, forcing Hearts to go back. Clearance by Walker. Jackson caught offside. Slow coming back after pressurising Walker. Good header on there by Robertson. An upward one, bouncing at the edge of the area. Hibs doing well to get it away. There's Weir. Evans challenged by Hogg. Miller. Private tackle there by Weir. Then by McLaren on Miller. Hearts up possession. Advantage applied. John Robertson. Halted there by Miller. Corner kick's been given. Well, no prisoners being taken here with the tackles. Both sides fully committed. Once again, Hibs have left three players on the halfway line. Jackson, Weir and Evans. Forcing Hearts to think about that. Mitchell's header. Hibs setting themselves for a counter-attack if they can get possession again. But it's back with John Robertson. And it's missed by Burridge. Did Ian Beale get a touch? That's the only question, but it's an error by Burridge without question. On the hour mark, Hearts go ahead. Well, John Robertson taking the credit for this. We'll see from this move whether Beale got a touch on this. Well, the answer is he didn't. The bounce deceived John Burridge, and the goal goes down to John Robertson. Well, John Burridge, bitterly disappointed, I've no doubt. The Hearts now have an advantage. And the bench to Miller. John Miller, this is. There's Beard. Tackled firmly by Tweed as the ball was swept out to Snowden. There's Hogg. And a late tackle on Hogg by Gareth Evans. So damage inflicted on both players. They've had some very heavy exchanges, these two, in the match. In fairness to Evans, he's usually been on the receiving end, but this time he careered in late on Hogg as he made that clearance. So Alec Miller not happy. Martin McLeod clearly upset also. Discussion going on between the two managers now. Alec Miller and Joe Jordan having an exchange. Well, Martin McLeod sees the funny side of it. Well, they're certainly not exchanging pleasantries, that's for sure. So Evans is being booked for his trouble. We'll see how it happened as the ball was played across there. Miller's header finds Bannon in space. Good running by Baird. Robertson ahead. Ferguson free over to the left. And David Farrell diving into that challenge on Baird. Baird had beaten him comprehensively there on the outside. McVick is in trouble, and we'll see why from this. The desperate lunge in the end by Farrell as Baird changes pace to go past him. Desperate tackle from Farrell. And the result will be a yellow card, I'm sure. Second booking for Hibs player, following Gareth Evans into the referee's book. Derek Ferguson with a free kick. Graham Hogg was almost on the end of that. It's kept in by Bannon. Good play by Mitchell and Miller, the fullbacks combining to start a Hibs attack. Here's Mickey Weir. It's back with McGinley. On the left is Jackson. That kind of sums up the Hibs second half. Just haven't been able to deliver the important passes accurately. Hawk's header goes straight to Willie Miller. Here's Brian Hamilton. Here's Evans. Hamilton again. That's towards right. Helps it on there for Jackson. A chance on this time. He steered it wide of the post. Well, he kept very cool inside the area, Jackson. Well, what a blow this is for Hibs. Keith Wright just nudged that on. Jackson got beyond Van de Ven, kept his head and tried to lob that beyond Nicky Walker. No look at all for Hibs. Tweed. Now Farrell. It's a well-judged pass. There's Willie Miller. He's kept it in play. Here's Weir controlling it brilliantly. Across it comes to Evans. Well, Hibs trying to find a shooting position for the players. Proving to be very difficult indeed. Mickey Weir, the ball stuck between his feet. Played it across square to Evans, who was never really set for the shot. Mitchell wins that well from Robertson. McGinley. Mitchell. Clarence sending it back, but Keith Wright trying to get there ahead of Nicky Walker. Breaks free there, the keeper is brave. Here's Keith Wright. The chance is, oh, it's off the post to Mickey Weir and blocked on the line by Hogg. Nothing going right in front of goal for Hibs. Pat McGinley can't believe that. Well, Nicky Walker was always at full stretch here. He was brave going for that. It broke kindly for Keith Wright. Keeper still couldn't get it back. Wright played it across the face of the goal. Just needed a touch. It came off the post to Mickey Weir, and still it wouldn't go. Well, it looks as though it's to be the 17th derby without a Hibs victory. A remarkable record. Farrell penalised there for his attentions on Bannon. So back it goes from Derek Ferguson to Van de Ven. There's Gary Mackay. Stopped well by Jackson. And Mackay's in trouble, I think, for his challenge. It's a free kick to Hibs. So here's Graham Mitchell. And the final whistle goes. The 17th Edinburgh derby in succession without a Hibs victory. Won on the hour mark in a bizarre fashion by John Robertson's angled cross to the left. Missed by everyone, including goalkeeper John Burridge, who was totally deceived by the ball coming in, and perhaps by the presence of Ian Baird. And Hibs, who had some very good chances in front of goal, will be wondering how this one got away. But Hearts over the piece, perhaps to the better of the play territorially and in midfield. but with Keith Wright hitting the post and Darren Jackson missing a great chance after Robertson's goal, Hibs will no doubt feel a little bit of injustice about that result. In the end, though, it's Hearts 1, Hibs 0.
Fourth Edinburgh derby of the season, Joe, and another victory. Were you pleased with the overall performance?
I think let's get the result. First of all, I think to play in a derby and to get the result, yeah, that's important. It was a great performance, and we get the goal. I don't think they'd be too happy the way it went in, but it was a positive cross by John, and it's in the net, and it gives us 2 points. And from that point of view, I'm delighted with it.
Thinking in terms of a cup final rehearsal potentially, would you see it that way perhaps?
Well, we've got a difficult fixture prior to having any talk about that, and so have the Hibs. I think it's early doors really to be talking about that, but who knows.
Would you say that was another argument though? From the neutral point of view, it wasn't a classic game to watch. Is familiarity breeding some kind of boredom and negative play?
I wouldn't say boredom. I don't think you can have boredom in a derby game. I think there's a lot of passion and whatnot and aggression showed there, but the familiarity when you have got 4 fixtures against the same team, yes, I think that can make it difficult for the players and for both teams. I think each player knows the individual who he's up against, so he knows really how to counteract that, and from that point of view it makes